again. It's my time, figure one up and down. All hot girls just wanna...
It's Friday. The weekend starts here on Good Morning Grenada. That's my aim, to bring you into the weekend on a fantastic note, on a high note. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Bless up your whole selves. It's another fantastic, fantalocious Friday, June 11th, 2021. Thank you so very much for tuning into Good Morning Grenada, whichever platform you're using. Always a pleasure to have you. Those of you on the GBN, Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channel 7, 11, and 20. Those of you watching on, those of you listening on Classic 105.5, 105.9, and all the viewers on Party Grenada and Go to FET Facebook pages. Like I said, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so very much for tuning in to Good Morning Grenada. What happening in back there? All right, there we go. All right, those of you joining us across the Caribbean, whichever part of the region you are, let me name 5 more countries this morning, 5 more islands to be specific. Good morning to all the residents in Dominica. I'm going to hail up my people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I know all are going through it. Trinidad and Tobago, St. Bart's, and Montserrat. That's 5 countries. Good morning to all the viewers and listeners across the region. A spicy 473 Grenadian morning to you. And those of you joining us internationally, those of you in Mexico, those of you in, hold on there, let me see where else. Oh, hail up. Where else? Those of you in France, those of you in Spain, those of you in Germany. Yeah, I didn't hail up Germany yesterday. And then the viewers and listeners in Brazil. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. Bless up all your whole selves. Let's start. It's time for this morning's Word of the Day. This morning's word of the day is majuscule. Majuscule. It's spelled M-A-J-U-S-C-U-L-E. Majuscule. It is a noun which means a large letter, such as a capital. Majuscule looks like the complement to minuscule, and the resemblance is no coincidence. Minuscule appeared in the early 18th century as a word for a lowercase letter, then later as a word for certain ancient and medieval writing styles which had small forms. Minuscule then acquired a more general adjectival use for anything very small. Majuscule is a counterpart to minuscule when it comes to letters, but it never developed a broader sense. The adjective majuscule also exists, as does its synonym majuscula. Not surprisingly, the adjectives share the noun's specificity, referring only to large letters or to a style using such large letters. Word of the day this morning, majuscule. M-A-J-U-S-C-U-L-E. A noun which means a large letter, such as a capital letter. So that's the other word for capital letter. An example of the use of the word: it is the name Maya Deca, the 11 letters, the 2 majuscules, the hyphen that's a bridge to grander things. Another example of the use of the word: at least the random emphatic majuscules on blogs are uncommon enough to make a rhetorical impression, though perhaps not one quite worthy of serious journalism. The word of the day this morning is spelled M-A-J-U-S-C-U-L-E, pronounced majuscule. It is a noun which means a large letter, such as a capital, aka the big letter, a capital letter. That's the dictionary term for capital letters, majuscule. All right, I will try and use it today. So my name starts with a B, that is majuscule. That sentence was sound right, but you get the idea. You get the idea. That sentence is sounding right. That sentence is sounding right, but all you get the idea. Majuscule. That's the word of the day. And as you go about your Friday, the thought that I want to carry you into the weekend is: stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited of what could go right. Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited of what could go right. That's one of the thoughts that don't need much explanation. Too often we stress on the things that could go wrong, and 8 times out of 10 it never happens that way. And we always imagine the worst, We never imagine just a little wrong, and we always imagine the big wrong that could happen. forget that. Be excited about what could go right. Be excited about it working out. Be optimistic. Be positive. See the glass as half full, not half empty. Be positive in your thoughts. Have that confidence in yourself, in the mission, in the journey, in the path. Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited of what could go right. That's the thought that I want to carry you into the weekend. Let's see what's celebrated today. My mouth start to water already. Today, June 11th, 2021, it is German Chocolate Cake Day. German Chocolate Cake Day. It is a day that celebrates a cake with American roots. It also happens to be one of the top 10 favorite cakes in the world. Although the name may sound like the cake originated in Germany, it did not. The cake's roots trace back to 1852 when American Sam German made a type of dark baking chocolate for American Baker's Chocolate Company. Baker's German sweet chocolates brand was named in honor of Sam German and not the country. It is German Chocolate Cake Day, and it is really made up of chocolate cake with layers of sweet and nutty pecan frosting in between. If you can't get your hands on German chocolate cake would do. Any kind of chocolate cake would do, whether it's today over the weekend. Say no more. Blossom is inside. I'm not sure where I'll get the German one, but I know at least where I get in a piece of chocolate cake. So Blossom celebrating today. So celebrate German chocolate cake in whatever way you can. Or maybe you can eat the pecan. Those of you who don't want to eat the sweet cake, you can just eat the pecan nuts. That is a part of the German chocolate cake. So you're eating a piece of it. Yeah, man. So if you can't get a German chocolate cake, eat chocolate cake or pecans. Yes, that's how we're going to celebrate German chocolate cake, you see? Blossom finds solutions. That's what I do. You're welcome. That's what I do. I find solutions to problems. All right, let's go. What is happening over the weekend? I saw a notice yesterday from the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force advising of closures of 2 roads on Sunday, God willing. The Constantine Main Road will be closed, as well as Melville Street close to the Rubis gas station. That's on Sunday, God willing. So Melville Street and Constantine Public Road will both be closed from 6 to 11 a.m. on Sunday, God willing. And this is to facilitate the cutting of 2 silk cotton trees in those areas. So the members of the public are advised to use alternative routes to get to and from their various destinations, wherever that destination may be. So that's on Sunday, 6 to 11 a.m. Melville Street and Constantine Public roads will be closed, especially to vehicular traffic, to facilitate the cutting of silk cotton trees in those areas. So please take note of that. Yes, it's a Sunday, but you never know what's happening on a Sunday. So you never know traffic. Just be mindful when you're going, whatever you're doing on Sunday. Keep that in mind. In addition to the COVID-19 protocols, silk cotton trees are being cut Melville Street to Constantine Public Road. So start thinking of alternative routes all now. So. All right, let's get ready for the morning edition of news. For those of you on radio and those of you on our visual platforms, we bring you highlights of last evening's newscast. It's Good Morning Grenada on a fantalocious Friday. We'll be right back.
I'm ready now to party, and it's jump up, yeah, jump up, and it's jump up, yeah, jump up, and it's jump up, yeah, jump up. It's party this weekend, it's jump up, yeah, jump up, and it's jump up, yeah, jump up, and it's jump up, yeah, jump up.
Tears of anguish poured outside the St. George's No. 1 Magistrates Court on Thursday as the man charged for the death of Lindy Skinner, Moraine, was brought to court. Family and friends of both the accused and the victims, as well as curious onlookers, were on hand as the country's first murder accused quietly made his appearance. Christelina John was on the scene.
outside the St. George's No. 1 Magistrates Court Thursday as murder-accused Calvin Frank was escorted by police to and from the courtroom. Frank, a 33-year-old driver of Spring St. George, was arrested and charged by officers attached to the Criminal Investigation Department on Wednesday, June 9th, in relation to Grenada's first homicide for 2021. Frank was charged with non-capital murder and housebreaking after he allegedly unlawfully broke into the dwelling house of Miss Lindy Skinner Moraine to commit a felony, therein to wit, non-capital murder. He was also charged for attempted non-capital murder by allegedly attempting to cause the death of a 16-year-old person. Lindy Skinner Moraine, a food vendor of Jean Anglais St. George, was stabbed to death, allegedly over $150 she owed to Frank. The accused, who appeared calm, was not allowed to plead during Thursday's hearing. He was represented by attorneys Anselm Clouden and Jerry Edwin.
Of course, the housebreaking charges, but as you know, he's presumed innocent until he's proven guilty by a court properly constituted by a judge and jury, and we're going to give him the necessary representation when the time arises.
The matter was adjourned to June 29, 2021. In the meantime, Frank has been remanded to Her Majesty's Prison, awaiting his next court appearance, when submissions will be made and the proceedings can begin. Christina John, GBN News.
The help of social partners is being sought to deal with the growing trend of acts of violence on the island. The appeal comes from the Minister for Disaster Management and the President of the Senate. More in this report.
Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office with responsibility for disaster management, Winston Garwe, is appealing to the social partners on island to band together to address acts of violence in the country. Garwe was responding to the recent gruesome killing of Lindy Skinner Moraine on Monday and other acts of violence witnessed in the past and present. He is making a plea to the social partners locally and the churches to take up some responsibility in providing support for the members of society most affected by these violent acts.
I stand to speak because this is something that we all as a nation have to rally around to get people to recognize violence is not the answer to our problems. Calling on the churches, calling on the social partners, let us do what we can. And every opportunity to advocate against the violence that we've seen creeping up. One will say, well, people stressed and heard a lot of excuses, COVID and so forth. But as humanity, we have a role to play in reaching out to our brothers and sisters who are experiencing difficulties.
President of the Senate Chester Humphrey, while expressing his sadness over the first homicide for 2021, says he's not surprised by recent acts of violence. The president said the trend has not gone unnoticed.
Male on female violence has seen a serious uptick over time. Secondly, the society has been progressively becoming less outraged over acts of violence. Not only male on female violence, but male and male violence, as well as violence against children.
Following the murder of Skinner Moraine, the Ministry of Social Services and Gender Affairs has offered counseling services to the families and close relatives of the deceased. The ministry has begun its outreach and its counselors have begun intervention with the victim's teenage daughter, who not only witnessed the brutal killing of her mother, but sustained injuries. Social Services Minister Delma Thomas said they are concerned about the effects the traumatic incident would have on the community and relatives, describing the death as a complete tragedy. She added that every incident like Monday's incident speaks to the need for society to deal more effectively with conflict resolution. Calvin Frank has been charged with non-capital murder, attempted non-capital murder, and housebreaking in connection with the death of Lindy Skinner-Marine. For GBN News, Beverly Tellisford.
Police are seeking the assistance of the general public in locating 6-year-old Karim Billy of Willis St. George. Karim left home on Wednesday, 9th June 2021 and has not returned since. He was last seen wearing his school uniform of St. Paul's Government School. Anyone seen Karim Billy or has any information about his whereabouts are asked to contact the Central Police Station at 440-2244, the St. Paul's Police Station at 440-3224, Police Emergency at 911, Police Hotline at 444-1958, or the nearest police station. Meanwhile, police have confirmed the death of a 34-year-old Ravi Chevy Batiste of Willis St. George, who died at the holding cell in the Central Police Station on Wednesday. Police say the individual was detained and brought to the Central Police Station at about 1:15 p.m. and went through the usual protocols before being placed in the cell with only a boxer on due to his previous behavior. At about 4:30 p.m. during the changing of the shift on duty, he was discovered hanging from the cell. He was later pronounced dead by medical experts. The RGPF presently is investigating the incident. Man Box from Boys to Men. That's the latest initiative by the Ministry of Social Development, Housing and Community Empowerment, targeting young men in communities around the country on how to better deal with conflict. More in this report.
The Man Box from Boys to Men initiative was introduced to young men in the Willis, New Hampshire communities this week, aimed at helping males aged 13 to 25 to better understand conflict resolution. The program will begin in the coming week and will run for 10 weeks, with participants being certified on completion. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Development, Chrissy Warm Charles, gave an outline of the program.
Skills to navigate conflictual situations. We know growing up, sometimes it may be very challenging for us, as we engage with our peers and so forth. Many conflicts and so on may result, and so this program is going to address some of those needs and help develop some of the skills that we already have to help to build capacity, right, to reframe negative responses into more positive and meaningful ones. Going to assist us in reducing the number of young persons entering into the court system. Also to build community resilience, meaning building your community stronger.
Charles explains some of the areas that will be covered during the session.
The goal of the Man Box program is to foster holistic development by teaching young men, such as yourself, important skills for problem solving and decision making, such as gender-based violence, responses to authority, drugs and alcohol, cooperation and conflict, academic successes. It's very important for us to discuss those key skills needed for future development, careers and employment.
Sessions will be held 2 days per week.
Mondays will be for participants who are aged 13 to 17. So Mondays, 5:30 would be your time. Sessions on Tuesdays will be for participants who are ages 18 to 25 years old. So we're focusing on persons from 13 to 25.
Christina John, GBN News.
Agriculture Senator Roderick St. Clair said he is concerned that a chief agricultural officer has yet to be hired since the retirement of Daniel Lewis on July 7, 2020. The agriculture senator raised the point as he cautioned against the lack of timelines and proper planning within the government. Gerard Joseph has that story.
The Ministry of Agriculture has yet to replace one of its top officials, almost 1 year since Daniel Lewis retired from office. A new Chief Agricultural Officer is yet to be appointed, despite allocations being made in the 2021 budget. Thus, the position remains vacant. Agriculture Senator Rajik Sinclair is concerned with the lack of succession planning within government.
But at the same time, now we are on June the 7th, and the responses that we got from the ministry is that things are put in place. And we almost getting ready to prepare for the next budget cycle, Mr. President. And then when I read the transformative recovery, transformation, and resilience as our theme in our budget, and I look at the statement that was presented again by our Jew Minister of Finance, that we will redouble our efforts to make agriculture great again.
However, Senator Nolan Cox, in addressing the issue, said due to the nature of the position, with it being specialized, not anyone can fill the post.
You cannot just go out there and pick up a manager or somebody to teach or somebody to work in agriculture is specialized. And so one of the challenges is that we have been moving together with the Ministry of Education in terms of offering scholarships for persons in the agriculture sector. And the uptake is very, very slow. So those are some of the key tenets that are affecting implementation, getting persons to come and work in the sector.
The government senator stated that they are challenged with the lack of people to take up scholarships in agriculture.
But some of the things that when we do get the scholarships, persons that don't take it up, but we try our best to ensure that person move in that sector. And so I just wanted to bring that to bear as some of the key issues that are affecting implementation and that has historically affected implementation. And a lot of it, as government, you do not have direct control. You put the necessary structures in place to influence as much as possible to get your key result from those sectors.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
The Grenada Movement's chairman, Dr. Patrick Antoine, is tonight's guest to further probe statements made during the Prime Minister's press conference on Wednesday. Good night and welcome, Dr. Antoine.
Good night and thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure. Dr. Antoine, in a previous analysis, you had some suggestions for government if they agreed to implement another stimulus package. What's your take on the $8.95 million stimulus package announced by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell?
Thank you. My take on the announcement by the Prime Minister is, first of all, that the $8.95 million translated into EC is too small. It's too small a package for the scope of coverage that the Prime Minister would have pointed to, covering, as he put it, vulnerable groups, taxi drivers, he mentioned layout workers. We're unsure of the scope of coverage, but it's too small. Too small because the Prime Minister would have singled out teachers as well inside of the public workers' obligations that the government has to shoulder. The Prime Minister seemed to have bifurcated the responsibilities, seeming to want to pay only teachers. Discriminatory is what I would say. So in addition to it being too small, it's discriminatory if the Prime Minister really intends to follow through on what he said. The third thing is the timing. If the Prime Minister uses his own rationale of saying that he's doing this for the students and to prevent disruption, and the question becomes, why didn't the Prime Minister do this before all the disruptions? After all, the teachers' salaries were docked back in 2018, and they've been struggling since. Inflation's been going at the rate of about 1% per month, month on month, so that the timing really becomes an issue. And the fourth thing really is the transparency, the mechanisms that the Prime Minister announced that he would be using to allocate these resources across so many diverse groups that were not properly defined, again, needs to be looked at, because there is a problem of trust. And that's my big point tonight. We are facing, obviously, a crisis of trust. And the announcement by the Prime Minister would have played into that and would have done nothing to diminish the concerns that our society has with trust. Trust, because if you want to heal the society, you won't be dividing public worker. If you want to heal the society, you won't be pointing to the fact that you're only doing this for the children when you have a legal obligation. And again, all of this continues to just lead to mounting distrust. And let me say that the announcement on the vaccines, to my mind, there's a component of that that also speaks to a lack of trust. When we can have among the lowest rate of vaccinations in the region, even where there are vaccines, it says to me that this looming problem, this cloud over of society of trust, is one that really needs to be addressed. So my one view of the stimulus package is that the Prime Minister really should go back to the drawing books. He should not, as I hear, there's an attempt to give teachers bonds. That needs to be examined closely. It really needs to be examined because we don't have a secondary bond market. I'm not saying yes or no, but the bottom line is that it's insufficient and it plays into trust, lack of trust.
Listening to the concerns of Grenadians coming out of this latest press conference, and many have made their concerns very public, do you see any of those concerns being addressed?
When I look at the size of the quote-unquote stimulus package, and I look, for instance, at the statistics that tell us about poverty and the amount of Grenadians who are going without meals, and the number of Grenadians who do not have savings, the size of it really is disproportionate to the cries on the ground by Grenadians. And I believe that if the Prime Minister really wanted to go back to the drawing board, he would need to come with a package that was more comprehensive, covering all the sectors that needed to be looked at, but not just with money. There are a number of things that governments can do, for instance, in working with the banks and not just asking them to for forbearance. There are a number of very important things the governments can do, such as setting up, for instance, a troubled assets program, so that when taxi drivers and so on face losing the little savings that they do have, that they would have invested in to send their children to school in case of sickness, that they are about to lose, that we could have a troubled assets fund, take that up in the interregnum until the economy picks back up. We have so many proposals at TGM that we've been working on that are not necessarily just purely monetary. And we believe the government needs to really exercise its imagination if it really is to reinstill trust and demonstrate that it really is the keeper of this public responsibility that we've entrusted upon them at this time.
We end on that note. A special thank you to you, Dr. Patrick Antoine, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Health professionals and organizations worldwide have been stressing the importance of prenatal care, otherwise known as antenatal care. This care, according to health professionals, is one of the best ways to reduce the risk of complications during pregnancy. Our training reporter, Krista Campbell, tells us more about prenatal care during pregnancy.
I don't think we as a people appreciate how much of the establishment of the infant's regulatory systems are established in the womb, because the infant is surrounded by the heartbeat of the mother. And if the mother is calm and regulated and there's a nice even pattern, the baby establishes that. If the mother is stressed, all those stress chemicals transfer through the uterus into the infant as it's growing and establish, connections that way to the infant's stress response system. So it's very important that it doesn't start after birth, it starts before birth.
Pediatrician and member of the New York State Association for Infant Mental Health, Dr. Richard Honigman, is among the numerous health professionals that have been stressing the importance of prenatal care, otherwise known as antenatal care. According to the National Institute of Health, NIH, getting early and regular prenatal care improves the chances of a healthy pregnancy. Dr. Sonia Nixon gave prenatal care recommendations on GBN's Doctor on Call program.
Once a woman discovers that she's missed a period and guesses that she may be pregnant, right, she really should start seeking care from them.
Okay.
This is what gives us the best outcomes, the best, the easiest, the happiest. Even if you're going to have complications, you can identify them before, right? Making sure that your blood pressure is normal, making sure that your blood glucose is normal, that your baby is growing normally, your weight is increasing and it should. Those are the things that you have to ensure in the antenatal care.
She also shared some of the do's and don'ts of pregnancy.
I'm not saying I'm just anybody, right? I'm an educated girl, and in order for me to produce that event that's really healthy, I have to be healthy. So I can't smoke. I shouldn't be drinking. I should really control my weight. I should deal with my dental health, my breast health, my sexual health. I should not be, should not be promiscuous, sleeping around. The things that could put my uterus in danger of having infections. But I also want to make sure that I have access to antenatal care.
So where exactly can you receive antenatal care?
Well, there's antenatal care everywhere in Grenada. In the health centers, the nurses are very well trained to identify, especially if you're going to have a problem.
More health and wellness tips will be discussed on GBN's Doctor on Call program, aired on GBN television and radio Tuesdays at 8:35 p.m. Krista Campbell, trainee reporter, GBN News.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Let's take a look around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience.
Last evening, Superintendent Vannie Cohen, head of community relations of the RGPF, responded to allegations of police brutality by 3 male officers against Candy Joseph of St. David. Superintendent Cohen said upon responding to a call, the 3 officers were met with aggression.
We've had 4 eyewitnesses' account of the incident outside that of the police officers. And all 4 of the eyewitnesses are very consistent in terms of what has happened. And what has happened is not police brutality as was told. The lady was arrested and refused to go to the police transport, and in fact she attacked the police. There were comments that were made about if she had a knife, what and what she would not have done. Those comments were alarming and very perplexing by those who witnessed the incident. We did not have to go out to search for information. It was so disgusting that many of the civilians who were present came into the police station and voluntarily provided information.
GBN's online audience took to the comments section to share their thoughts on the superintendent's response. St. Louis said, I find the woman's story to be very consistent with what Cohen just said. She literally told y'all what happened. Listen to her story again, with your critical thinking ears this time. So many holes and contradictions in her report. Floyd added the fact that this woman's own children was hiding from her, taking refuge at a neighbor's house, speaks to a violent tendency. I'm not trying to excuse the alleged police abuse. I'm just trying to be analytical from all angles here. I find it hard to believe that 3 police officers would just go off on a woman that was conversing in a civil manner, especially since they didn't do it at the privacy of her residence, which they had visited earlier, but chose to do it at the location where she followed them down the street. Was she trying to show them up publicly and got humbled? Marcel said, those barbaric cops should be arrested. You are defending the cops' illegal actions the same way that the cops in the U.S. are defended when they kill unarmed black people. Retrain those cops and teach them the proper methods of engaging with the public in all situations. They must do away with the wolfpack mindset. I do not think that anyone attacked the cops. Nicholas added, so the lady just assaulted, which is a crime. The 3 police officers' bruises were then noticeable about her body, not the officer, and you'll just walk away from the scene scene without any arrest being made. Mr. Officer, stop picking up for your boys. Be neutral and investigate the matter, but hearing your biased speech, we don't expect any proper investigation out of this matter. Etienne said, so she attacked 3 police officers and nothing happened to them, and she isn't arrested? Oh boy, the saga continues. The days of our lives, as the world turns, fools can only fool fools. Lastly, Kelly said, when I listened to her recollection of the incident, I had a gut feeling that she was uncooperative to the police, hence the reason for their actions. And I guess I was right. Shake my head. There are always 2 sides to a story, and she was wrong if that is what she did.
That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. If you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, be sure to comment on GBN's Facebook page.
From the thought process to the visual impact, it's time to take a peek through the GBN eyesore lens.
We are taking pride in outstanding performance. We are encouraging and recognizing innovation. We are committed to continuously doing things better, with enhanced services coming soon. Yes, we are here for you. Check us out today for your financial need. GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
Montreal, it's time to line virtually one more time. Gemma Rayburn Baines here for Spice Island Cultural Festival, a celebration of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. This summer's festival is a celebration of life with food, fashion, music, and culture. Join us online Saturday, July 10th, 3 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube at Spice Island Cultural Festival. Info, spiceislandculturalday.com.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Trends come and go, but jewelry is forever in style. Give a gift that lasts a lifetime. Diamond Intercontinental have diamond jewelry, gold and silver jewelries, engagement rings, wedding bands, chains, bracelets, and so much more. They also carry brands such as Anne Klein and Guess. Why wait? Visit Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store at the Esplanade Mall. Call 440-231234. The number again, 232-1234.
Understanding our ocean is education for life. Encourage your students to learn about marine life,
water quality, sea level rise. Let them explore sciences. Encourage them through field trips and scholarships. The more they know, the better they can protect our oceans from litter and climate change. Let them rise to the challenge. The ocean is our responsibility, their inheritance, their future.
This message brought to you by the OECS Commission with funding from the government of Norway. Remlit, tackling ocean pollution from turf to surf.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Now, for electrical safety. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
All you hear it? All you hear it? A classic. A classic. It's Friday. Time to enter the showroom and feature our Grenadian talent. And I am honored to have this Calypsonian in the showroom this morning.
A rhythm and melody with all less than coming to me now.
Classic Calypso, that is what this gentleman is known for. His name is Mr. Francis Daniel, but many of you will know him as the one, the only, the talented, the fabulous Flying Cloud. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
It is an absolute pleasure, sir. Thank you so very much for joining us in the showroom this morning. This program is gradually becoming my favorite. I getting to speak to some of our Grenadian talent. It is absolutely an honor, sir. Thank you very much. How are you?
You're welcome. I'm fine.
All is well?
All is well, all is well.
Can't complain.
I was surprised when I got this call from Scholar yesterday. I knew he was up to something. I didn't know what he was up to.
This is what he was up to, because I've been trying to find you. And something yesterday said, no, you ain't try Scholar. Scholar gonna know how to link you up. And I said, okay, you see, the thing spoke to me yesterday, and I said, Scholar is the man. So Scholar, thank you very much for the link up. Appreciate it. So Mr. Cloud, I want to call him Mr. Cloud, not Mr. Daniel this morning. Mr. Cloud, let's look at your career in the Calypso business. You are one of our former Calypso monarchs. And
no,
we are...
no, I never won.
You never won? I saw a list with your name on it.
The road match.
You won road match. Okay, maybe that's where I saw the name in truth. You won road match.
If I did not come to America, I would have been the monarch by now.
I figure as much, eh? I agree with you.
I was getting at it. I was getting serious.
I like that you are getting serious. So speak to me before the time you were getting serious. How did you start in Calypso? How long ago was that, and what made you get into the art form?
Well, since that happened since in the 70s. Growing up as a child, I all time liked Calypso. You know, in Grenville, when all them other Calypso like African Taylor and all the others used to be, Ghost Four and all of them used to be singing in the market. I had no money to go in the market, so I had to find my way in. So I will find the holes in the night and pass through the holes and get in. First, I love it. So nowadays, when I pass in front of the market, and as you know, I don't know if you know Grenville Market, they have something they call like the Polo Stars. And I look at it. I used to be passing between there. I don't know which part of how I did it.
But you made it work.
I made it. And so the love for Calypso was all time there. And one day, one of my classmates told me he's going to sing for the Kiddies Carnival. So I asked him to sing the song for me. And he did. We went to the back of the school and he sang the song and it was so nice. So I said, who wrote it for you? Tell me he did it himself. All the time he was lying for me. But lying for me make me do it because I say, if you could do it, I could do it too.
You see how the thing working out?
And I went from there the same evening. I went home and I started writing. I didn't know what I'm doing, but I started writing. And I entered the kiddies competition, but I was scared. So the Sunday I had us to perform in the Grenville Theatre. And when about 2 o'clock, I see somebody come up in the yard and they tell me that I entered too late. But not knowing I was happy that happened. Because I was scared. I was wondering. I asked myself what I get myself into. But I still, then a couple of years passed. And one day I understand they was opening at 10. That was in 1979. For 1979 Carnival. But remember, there was no 79 Carnival. So we was preparing, we was practicing, rehearsing in St. Patrick's. Black Wizard, African Teller, Timpo, all of us I was one of the youngest ones. And when the band started to rehearse my song, I sang the first verse and the chorus, everything was good. When I reached to the second verse, the band went one way, I went the other way. That means I had no idea about writing still. And Wizard came to me and we said, over and over we going, and them couldn't tell me what was the problem. And Wizard came and he told me, he said, I know where you went wrong. He told me what I got to do with the other verses. Because I write the first verse and the chorus right, and the second verse, everything was off. And Wizard is the one that showed me that way, and I took it from there. But after the revolution, my mother sent me out to Trinidad. So in Trinidad, I was doing my little things, but I couldn't, we call it illegal. You can't go to any tent. I tried, but I was still scared because I understand they will arrest you on the stage and whatever. So I was singing with Brigo Tent in Arima. And then I came back in 1982. That was the first time I ever went on a stage in Grenada with African Teller, African Temple. I think that's the same year African Teller won the crown too. And then I went back to Trinidad. I did my first recording in 1983. I produced it myself. That was The Rage of the Wind and Oh Georgie. I don't know if you remember this song.
I remember Georgie.
Right.
I don't know how, but I remember Georgie. How do you remember Georgie?
That was my first recording in 1983. Yes. And at the same time, I was seeking, advice on how to write. And I was meeting the Calypsonians in Trinidad. I was meeting Aro. I was with Leston at that time. And they was helping me. And I think I took it from there.
I like that. You took it from there. Do you remember the very first song, the one that they told you entered too late with? Do you remember what that song was about?
I don't remember nothing.
What about the one that was that help you with?
Nothing. Because let me tell you what I feel. They say when you don't remember something, it was not good. Okay. And that means it just was not good. That's the reason why I don't remember.
But you have since developed your craft for writing. How do you think you were able to hone that skill, coming from what you say, you didn't know what you were doing, to Wizard helping you to now being able to just put pen to paper and come out with what I call classics?
Leston Paul is the one, and Arrow. Leston and Arrow is these two guys who really helped me. There was a time I told Leston, I say, I would like you to help me to get into Spectacular Forum, because I all the time wanted to make it in Trinidad. So so Leston turned and he asked me, he said, where you would like to go? I said, I want to get into Spectacular Forum, because I knew he could do it. And he said, you know the word spectacular, what that means? He said, you gotta be great, man. And he tell me, he say you're coming, but you're not there as yet. So I went home, and at the same time, he giving me positive criticism, and he was directing me on how to do it. So I went home, and I remember going in the back, and he telling me, you have to, get yourself somewhere and shout out, bring it out. And I did that. And that night, when I go back to him the next week, he tell me that's a lot better. And I started working on it and working on it. And I left Trinidad, and I came back to Grenada. That was in 88, I think. I came back to Grenada, or 87. And I started to work. I went back into my construction. I did little business, but I just wanted to be into Calypso. And at some time I just say, I went to the credit union and I took a loan. And I said, I'm going to record this year. That was for 1992. When I was going, some people tried to discourage me. And I said, no, that's what I want. I'm going for it. And when I get down to Trinidad, I went into the studio, Leston, and he in the studio. And he said, start singing. So the first song I did was Raise Your Hand, because I had 4 songs that time. And the first song I did was Raise Your Hand. And then, as he started on the keyboard and I started singing, within about 2 or 3 lines into the song, I just see he drop everything and he walk out from the studio. He don't tell me anything. He just drop everything and he walk out from the studio. And next thing I see, he come back with his wife. So I didn't know I didn't have an idea how he was thinking. And he said, start singing again. And when I start singing, he stopped. He said, how a man gets so good overnight? He said, I don't understand. Yeah, he said, I don't understand how a man gets so good overnight. He used other words, but which I cannot use here.
So Raise Your Hand was one of your very first?
Well, I did other little things before, but was one of my biggest songs. It's up to now is one of the biggest.
Yes, it is. Look, I'm playing it in the background now.
We go better night, darling. We go do it right.
A classic, and look, it's still relevant today. What do you think it is about that song?
I don't know. I think it has to be the music. The lyrics could match up with the music, but I want to believe it's the music that really have the grip, the bass line on. There is this thing that sort of grabbing inside of the song. There's a lot of things inside there. And the melody too. The melody have a lot to do with it. But when I went to Leston with this song, that was not my top choice. There is one they call We Jam in It. That was the song I was looking at because my mind was on Road March. I had based my mind on the Road March. So I did We Jam in It for the Road March. I was not checking on Raise Your Hand. But it's when I came back in Grenada and I started releasing, Leston told me what to do. I released the 2 slowy songs, which was Anita and I cannot remember the next one. And the Thursday before Rainbow City, that was my timing. The Thursday before Rainbow City, I released the next two, we jam it and Raise Your Hand. And from the time I see what happened in Rainbow City, I knew directly it gone clear.
I like that in gone clear. So coming from where you started to releasing those songs, Anita, Raise Your Hand, we jamming it, did you expect that it was going to be that big of a hit? Yes, you were looking for the road match, you were looking at rejamming it, but did you expect it to hit us so hard and still be relevant in 2021? And it looks like years to come again.
No, as I tell you, that song, Raise Your Hand, it was not, I did like it, but I didn't see it as this big song. I didn't see it as this big song. And up to now, I have songs and I might be telling myself that this is the best, and I might have others that might be better than it. I don't know why, as a musician, you will all time think, you all time choose the wrong song. That all time happen. I heard Scholar say the other day.
Yes. Do you have a favorite of any one of your songs?
I think my favorite is Have Some Fun.
Have Some Fun, okay.
Have Some Fun. That's my favorite, but other people will see it otherwise, you know?
We look for Have Some Fun. So in the meantime, let's talk about the competition stage. Like you said, you were going for road match, but at the same time, you were also in the March Grand. So take me through that competition phase of your career and some of the high points for you and maybe even a low point in the competitions.
All right, well, I will go back, but I will just tell you this one thing. There was the first time in the March Grand, I came last, which I think that was my position. I accept, because when I look at what happened, I don't think I could have beaten anybody that night. Nothing went right. When they announced Flying Cloud position, let me say number 9 or 10, how much it was, the people make so much noise, they thought I was the winner. And all right, so going back to the beginning now. When I started Calypso, I started it for fun. I didn't see it as something serious, because them days you sing, you don't get nothing. You walk from Sutter's to Grenville, you walk from wherever you're rehearsing, you walk all night, and it was just fun. We chatting, we sucking mangoes all night. Coming home. Because there was no vehicle when you're going to rehearse, wherever you're going to rehearse, you don't have a car, you gotta walk back home. And I think you might have guys doing it up to these days. But I just love the art form. I never had an intention.
Sorry, Claude, I don't know what happened to your audio, but it started. I'm hearing you, but it's sounding a bit hollow.
Hollow.
Say something.
Yes, this is me. Okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes. So I all time did I never took it serious, and I think that was one of my downfall in coming towards competition, because the fact that I never entered it serious, it took me so many years to get serious. Until I think it was 1999 when I decided to come to the US. That's when I was getting serious. And when I got serious is when I decided I will approach a writer. And I got a writer, which was Winston Devine, and I decided I was coming for the crowns. But I came to the US. But if I did stay home, if I did remain home to perform after that, all the other years, Winston Devine would have been writing for me.
Do you remember that song in 99?
99, I did Be Conscious. I did Be Conscious, and what was the next song? I cannot remember the next song. In 99.
But why were you confident that would have been the year for the crown? What about those songs?
So if I had 2 songs in that year, when I say 2 songs, if I had something stronger for the second song, I would have placed somewhere higher. I don't know if I would have been, but I would have been somewhere within the first 3. If I did have a second song. That was my problem. As I tell you, I never was taking it serious. So all the time have one song and then the second song couldn't keep up with support the next one. And it was too much strain on this one song. So I think that was my problem. But I was going to work on that. But now I intend to come back to sing in Grenada, but I have no intention for competition.
Why?
Because
maybe that is what the match grand needs, you know, a flying cloud in the dance.
It take a lot. Well, you have guys like Scholar and these guys and them.
Scholar, some competition.
There's a lot of young guys coming up. Yeah, so I myself don't even think I want to go into traveling and perform anymore. As I tell you, I just want to bring it back to the fun thing again. Just do music for the people, let the people enjoy themselves. I know I'm going to be operating at a loss because, music nowadays, you can't make anything. But just, not everybody may not be able to do what I might be able to do. But I know I'll be operating at a loss doing this recording because I will be still doing it at the level that I all time do it. I will be going to Leicester and it's going to cost me $1,000 something US a song. Yeah.
Wow.
That's so expensive. But back in the 90s, it used to be $1,000 US. And that is only walking from the studio. You ain't talking about pressing records and DVD and CDs and whatever. Yeah, so, but I make up my mind I'm going to do it. It's not something I'll be doing every day. It's just, it will be once a year. And I decide to do it whatever is the cost. I'll be putting away that cash for that every year.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. You mentioned the competition and you mentioned, there are some younger guys coming in. What's your take on the current Calypso arena in Grenada, whether it be in the competition stage or the artists themselves, the songs they're putting out and so?
Well, I think the music don't fall. I don't think the standard drop. What happened is the same thing we're talking about is this music industry. And because of technology, music not selling again. And once the music not selling, nobody getting this incentive to produce. Nobody could find a producer anymore. The guys who have the money to put it, they still don't want to do it because so it's only with the competition. The guys who could go in the competition and place is who want to put all the money. So Scholar may not find out there is a problem to put all the money because he got them in the first 3. But the guys who put in all the money and they don't know how they're getting it back. Sometimes they don't even get a show to perform on. And so I think the music, the standard is there. The guys is there, they could all time put out. But something have to be done, and not in Grenada, I'm talking abroad. The US, anyway, music concerned, something have to be done with this industry. I don't know how they're going to do it, but something have to be done that music could start selling again. Look at that. I think in Africa, it still remains the same because, they are a little behind, not all over Africa, some places in Africa. You still sell records, you still sell cassettes because they're not up to date yet. But when everything comes up to date, they will be having the same problem. But I think the people is there, the music is there, and once you could once you know you put out and you could get something, you're gonna hear the guys coming out again.
And you think that's the same problem why more young people are not gravitating to calypso and they're more sticking to the soca and the jump and wave and jump and whine?
That's it. But even in the calypso will all time stand up more than the jump and wave or the jab or whatever. The calypso will because in the calypso you could go in the competition and get something. But in the soca monarchy, it's the same thing, you could go and get something. But the other guys, you will find some people will just say it don't make sense going because they know they won't place, they know they won't make the finals, or they won't make they won't get any part in the competition, semi or finals, and they will just tell themselves, if they could just sing in a tent, that's it, but they won't be putting up money to record. And remember, nobody producing anybody anymore because it's a business. And if you put out and you have nothing to get back, because if you record now and you try to go on the street and sell a DVD or something, people look at you as a madman. Nobody buying music from everybody because everybody could get it free. Once you release it, they will get it free. So I think that's the biggest problem with music right now. And as long as they don't find some way to cushion that, or it ain't going to stop, and it won't get better.
I understand.
I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna do my thing just for myself and for the people.
All right, let's take a break, Mr. Claude. I like calling you Mr. Claude. Let's take a break, and then we're going to come back and continue talking with the Flying Cloud. We're learning a lot this morning. Stick and stay. The showroom on Good Morning Grenada. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016, or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
thing sweet. Classics. We are speaking with the one and only Flying Cloud this morning. He's in the showroom. Cloud, is there I really like calling it Cloud, you know. Expected to get that much love? Is there a song that you expected to get love but didn't?
I think so. Let me see. Well, thinking about with Jam in it, that was a song, I think so. And which again? I think there is a few, I can't recall right now, but I think there is a few of them that I thought I was looking for. Oh, right, Green Carnival. I really thought I would have people breaking down everybody branches that year. I really thought I would have people breaking, and I thought I would just see the whole town green. That was my whole intention. I didn't tell people to do it, but I was hoping to see people with green branches all over the place.
Okay, let me hear Green Carnival. Hold on. I feel it. All right. I can get on board with Green Carnival. Green Carnival have it in truth. 1995. What? 2005, 2015. Are you talking 26 years? What?
Yeah, but time run fast,
Time run fast, man. So you say you're coming back, you'll be sending out the songs. You're not in competition, but you're singing out the songs. How will you be able to fit back in? Because we're talking music, like we just said, is jump and wave and jump and whine with the young boys. How can Flying Cloud find his space back into the music industry in Grenada?
Well, I think I improve in my writing. I think I improve. And well, that's as I say, sometimes you feel that way and it's not that. But I think from the get-go, I'll be right on top. From the time I release, I don't want to be a boaster, but I sound like a boaster. But I think I have it. I hear they say the music change, and I don't believe in this one. I just believe once you come with the material and the people like it, they're going to jump aboard with it. And that's just my feelings, and I have it. And as I tell you, to me, I think I improve, and it's just a matter of time for people to hear that.
And I can't wait for it. No, Grenada, when we have a lot of times when we have our favorites, especially coming back to the music business, we always want them in competition. If people say, come back in competition now, Claude, let me say Scholar tell you come back, Black Wizard tell you come back, your fans tell you come back. Is that something you would think about?
Well, yes, I'm thinking about it. A lot of people want me to do it, but if I come back, they have to tell themselves I won't be the same.
It blows up.
They will be having some competition, and if I come back, I'll be serious.
And they will pay attention, and they're paying attention. One of our viewers or listener on WhatsApp is asking, when will you do a tune for Pan?
For Pan? Mm-hmm. I think I wrote a couple songs like that already, but I never finished them. And that's a good idea, that I could do it on my next album, which might be this year.
That was going to be my next question. Albums. Yeah. We always want a place where we can hear about 20 Flying Cloud songs. So you're planning a next album and hope is maybe 2021, 2022?
Well, let me tell you, for the past 10 years now, I've been coming every year. And nobody hear me yet. So I'm telling you, I keep saying I'm coming. I tell everybody this year, next year, and it don't happen. But I hoping I'm in touch with my arranger every day. We speak every day. He have the down payment already. But it's just now with all this thing happening in Trinidad, because I will be going down there to record. With all this thing happening down there now, that will block me a little. And I should be home soon, anytime from now. And I'm hoping to hop over and to start getting some work done.
Well, we have studios in Green, so feel free, to set up the local boys with the Flying Cloud touch. Feel free. I have a few people on WhatsApp, bigging it up and bringing back memories. Somebody say, I remember back in the days, Flying Cloud mashing up the Luke Cinema. Somebody else says, classic Raise Your Hand, invoking wonderful memories of the 80s. Those guys need a Hall of Fame in Grenada. And in fact, I remember which party and where that song mash up, Boatyard in Lansapine. Apparently, you mash up Boatyard in Lansapine already.
I wouldn't remember them things, but I know I did a lot,
And that's the next thing, Hall of Fame. Some of our favorite Calypsonian soca artists, our local talent. How can we, I don't want to say capitalize, but how can we use their talent and help develop Calypso? How can we tap into what Flying Cloud has, what Scholar has, Wizard has, and use it to nurture our young Calypsonians coming up, the young Stunner and Baraka?
Well, I think as you said, they should have something that, they acknowledge the older Calypsonians and recognize the older Calypsonians and move on there as a person progress, and they move on. Who die already, you give them certain things to, and that might give the others the motivation to move, to come into the art form. I don't know.
And would you be willing or open to sharing your expertise with some of maybe our primary school, secondary school students?
If I could, yes. Why the sense dying with it? Whatever you have, little experience you have. I don't think I have much, but whatever little I have, I could share it.
Like, you have a lot, because you have a lot of classics. Do you know how many songs you've recorded? How many you've written? How many you still have in the bag to send out?
Well, I got a lot in the bag to send out. I got a lot in the bag because remember, it's almost 20 years now I don't sing. So I got a lot in the bag to send out. I don't remember how much I wrote or how much I record. I don't know if it's in the 40s, in the 50s. I don't know, somewhere up there.
Wow, okay. All right. And like you say, Flying Cloud coming back in the business, what's next for you specifically? Is there a song you're working on specifically? The album is the next focus. What's the next focus?
Yeah, I have a couple songs. I have one named Martin Luther. That is a song I really want to do. And I have one from New York, which I should do. But there is the problem all the time, they never go away. And the name of it is Rats. And this one is based on the rats in America, in New York. So I want to do this song. I should do it a long time ago. It will be a big song. It will be a big one. And the reason why I tell you it's going to be big, because they're going to pay attention to it. It's going to touch the ears of maybe the whole of America.
Okay, what? I'm looking for that one.
And there's supposed to be a video with it. And in the video, you're going to hear the rats and them speaking. It will be like, where we're hanging out tonight, we're hanging out in Times Square. They're going to be, speaking about different things that are happening. So it's like the rats and them. You have movies with the rats speaking, animals speaking, right? So sort of they will say, the bigger ones will tell them, younger ones will say, well, we're going to hang out in Times Square Friday night. And the older ones will say, you're crazy. Times Square Friday night is madness. You know, you're going to go down lower down Brooklyn, you know, and them things like that. With the video, I think we'll even draw the attention.
I'm looking forward to it.
And then I have a lot of other songs which I want to do, and also I have a Christmas carol and a parang which I want to do too.
Okay.
And I think I should get it done for the ending of this year. A Christmas carol and a parang. And as you asked me about the pan song, I'm going to work on a pan song.
Flying Cloud coming out hitting strong again, man. I like
but
it.
I don't know when we're gonna have the carnival home too. That's it. I don't know if you go have
hopefully
this year.
2022.
2022.
Yes, let's fingers crossed. And we can get back to the jamming in the street. Flying Cloud.
By that time I should be properly prepared and everything for
anything to come. Flying Cloud in the dance. I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate it so very much. Unmute the call.
So somebody was trying to call, that's what.
Yes, I figured as much. I just want to thank you so very much, Claude, for being my guest this morning. Appreciate it. I enjoyed talking to you. I was not disappointed. I appreciate you so very much, and all the best to you, the family, the son, you know, all the best.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And nice speaking to you too, and thank you for having me.
A pleasure, sir. Looking forward to Flying Cloud for 2021, 2022. Hitting them hard.
2020. Yeah.
All right. Have a good day. Thank you. You should be home soon.
Soon, yeah.
Okay, nice. Lovely. Enjoy.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Talk to you. Right, bye.
The one, the only Francis Daniel, aka Flying Cloud. Always a pleasure. I tell all this is slowly becoming, I think it's already my favorite. Talking to our talent, our local talent, near and far. It's a pleasure learning about their history. Now let's get ready to join the BBC for its 8 a.m. newscast. Thank you so very much for tuning into the showroom here on Good Morning Grenada. The BBC's 8 a.m. newscast is up next. Enjoy the rest of your fantastic, fantalocious Friday. And it is Open Line Friday here on To The Point at 9 o'clock. Bye-bye, people, and see you all in an hour.
Woman in the gym.